Welcome to Introduction to Philosophy. This is the course. You can see the course goals here. Identify and describe the major areas of philosophical inquiry, summarize the broad outlines of the history of philosophy, identify strengths and weaknesses in philosophical and other arguments, describe different notions of the work of philosophy, identify and describe historically important philosophical arguments and contextualize these in light of general philosophical problems or fields, and write a philosophical argument in response to important arguments or ideas in philosophy. And these are the lessons that we'll be covering. We'll begin by asking what is philosophy and trace Western philosophy to its beginning in Greece and explore what is special about philosophical inquiry. Then we'll read two brief but very significant texts. The first is Plato's Allegory of the Cave, and this is from the Republic, and then Descartes' argument from Meditations on First Philosophy, where he concludes, "I think, therefore I am," which is probably familiar to you. And these texts introduce you to some excellent samples of philosophical writing and introduce some really important arguments in philosophy that have lasted for centuries. We'll then turn to paint in broad strokes the history of philosophy from ancient Greece through the first part of the 19th century. And this, again, will just be in broad strokes. But we'll give you kind of a handle on what types of questions these people were asking and what solutions they kind of came up with. And we'll then turn to a brief introduction to logic and introduce you to the rules of deduction and standards for making a sound and valid argument, as well as an introduction to some common fallacies. And then we turn to epistemology, which tackles questions like how we know and what we can know. Then we have an introduction to ethics, or what makes an action good, what constitutes a good life, and what values underlie our moral judgments. And then we turn to metaphysics, which is the study of ultimate reality and first causes, and we'll end studying philosophical writing, though we'll be studying philosophical writing throughout, reading and doing some writing. But this is your chance to write a substantial philosophical argument drawn from what we have studied in class. So these are the lessons in Introduction to Philosophy. We've also got, these are the two big writing assignments and projects, a 1,500-word essay or video and a 1,000-word essay on a topic of your choosing from what we study in the class. And this should give you a good overview and introduction to the discipline of philosophy. We hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much.